Welcome to Polytechnic English. Dear students, today we'll be learning about writing. So as you see the image of writing, that means either it should be a paragraph writing or something related to writing. So we'll go for the letter writing, which is the important part of your curriculum, of your syllabus. So in letter writing also there are two types. There are formal and informal type of writing. First of all, what is writing? As writing is a medium of human communication that represents language and emotion through the inscription or recording of signs and symbols and words. So, in most languages, writing is a complement to speech or spoken languages. Okay. Uh, Now, technical writing. Technical writing is a type of writing where the author is writing about a particular subject that requires direction, instructions, or explanation. Examples: essays, manuals, and reports. So, uh, like essays, what do you write in essays? And what do you write in manuals? So, essays, we know we write like essays on sports, essays on global warming, and essay writing. We write many topics on essays. This also comes under, so how to write introduction, the body, and the conclusion, and manuals also. Reports, which is very, very important. Report writing, writing reports on sports, writing reports on annual reports, writing reports on uh, present scenario. So this all comes under a technical writing. So technical writing is a writing or drafting technical communication used in technical and occupational fields, okay, such as computer hardware and software, engineering, chemistry, aeronautics, robotics, finance, medical, consumer electronics, many more, biotechnology, forestry, many more will come. Okay. Now, what this technical writing means. So, as I said, it is a type of writing where the author is writing about a particular subject that requires direction, instruction, or explanation. So, the style of writing has a very different purpose and different characteristics that other writing styles, such as creative writing, academic writing, or business writing, they all differ. Now, what is this purpose of technical writing? The main purpose of technical writing is to provide sometimes like complex information. That means this type of writing that will assist a person with understanding more about a particular item, such as a computer or a new drug or a new piece of technology. Like example, explain how an object works and how to complete a project. Like, okay, and they are okay. Okay, there are three main parts in a technical document. Like front matter of technical document, it must include like a title page, and this title page should include title, the author, and the date. And abstract, it is a summarizing statement. And table of contents is a list of subject headings and subheadings of the document. Okay, and list of figures. All this comes. Now, what are the rules for technical writing? So you should know first, know your purpose. What are writing? What is the purpose of writing? Know the audience. Okay, know your audience for what you're writing. That is, write in a clear, conversational style. Okay, and be direct, concise, specific, and consistent. And use, if you want to use jargon language, you can use sprangly. Okay, not usually. Okay, very, very rare. Jargon sprangly. And perfect the active voice over the passive. and break the writing into short readable sections. Okay. And used stacked list and visuals if appropriate. Fine. Now, how do you create a technical document? Once you have put your team together, writing technical documents, you should follow in a simple steps. Like first step, do research and create a documentation plan. Okay. Then step two, structure and design. Okay. Third one, create the content, what you're writing. Then fourth, deliver and test. And fifth step, create a maintenance and update schedule. Fine. Now, what are these technical requirements? Technical requirements, they are the technical issues that must be considered to successfully complete a project. These are aspects such as performance, reliability, and availability that your project must meet on in order to proceed with the project. Okay. Now, what are if you want to know what are non-technical requirements, they are affecting product and service acquisition or development that are not properties of the product or service. Other non-technical requirements, they include work constraints associated with the training, site provisions, and deployment schedules, etc. Okay. Now, how to gather technical requirements? Like first you establish project goals and objectives early. Then second one, document every requirements elicitation activity. Third, be transparent with requirements documentation. And fourth one, talk to the right stakeholders and users. And the fifth one, don't make assumptions about requirements. Okay, don't make assumptions. And sixth one, confirm whatever you write, confirm. Okay. And seventh one, practice active listening. Okay, we'll go what is the worst, literary writing versus technical writing. So I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over wells and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. This is literary writing. So, the technical writing, the poem in technical writing can be: the narrator was walking alone when he saw a patch of daffodils near the lake. This comes under technical writing. So, you have seen this is literary writing and this is technical writing. Okay. So see the letter. You are broken into chunks. Don't write a monotonous. You should write in paragraphs, small paragraphs. Take it. Fine. Now a letter, a written, typed or printed communication sent in an envelope by post or messenger. Now what are the points to be noted in letter writing? As I said, it should be correct format. Short and to the point, relevant, free of any grammatical or spelling mistakes. Polite, even if you are complaining, also be polite and well presented. These are the points to be kept noted while you writing a letter. So format is very, very important. As students, if you write the correct format, you'll be getting the marks for the format first. Then, are you speaking straight? What is the purpose? Is your writing for the relevant? What you're writing? And is it your writing is free from grammatical mistakes? And whether you're complaining politely or you're requesting, whatever it must be, a polite letter. Okay, and it should be well presented. That is concise, stay to the point. Now, formal letter versus informal letter. The main difference between a formal letter and an informal letter is their purpose. A formal letter is written for professional, official and business communication, written in the formal language with a specific format or business or official purpose. Whereas informal um, letter, sorry, example, you can say a letter of inquiry, a letter of request, a letter of complaint. This all comes under formal letter writing. An informal letter is used for personal communication. Okay. Um, Informal letters are letters we write to friends and relatives. There is no strict format to write an informal letter. Okay, so we don't follow any formalities while writing informal letters. So how do you write an informal letter? Sorry, formal letter. So formal letter, you need to write your full name, address, and date before you begin the letter. So what you should write in the formal letter? You should need to write full name, address, and date. Then second one, address the person you are writing the letter to with your correct name and designation. Third one, it is always advisable to start the letter with respected sir or respected madam or dear sir or dear madam, and then mention the name and the address of the person. Okay. Coming to informal letters, you might begin by asking the recipient about their well-being, or you may say that you hope the letter finds them in a good health and great spirits. Or the opening of any formal letter, which is casual and comforting. It must not be formal and direct, as you have written in business letters. Okay, so I've explained a formal letter example. So a formal letter is one written in formal and ceremonious language and follows a certain stipulated format. So like official, they write letters are written for official purpose to authorities, dignitaries, colleagues, seniors, etc. Okay, they doesn't come under personal context. Now, actually, the three types of letters. Okay, one is formal, informal, and semi-formal letters. Many of us, we just go for formal and informal. There are semi-formal letters also. So like you can find your basic elements in both the formal and informal letters. A salutation is there, introductory body, text, conclusion with signature. The salutation is also known as greeting. Okay. And now we don't go so deep about that one. Just we are seeing about the difference between formal and informal letters. So we write a formal like a formal language and informal in a informal like just casual. So as you know, a letter is the message from one party to another containing information, and letters, as I said, they are formal letters. They send to organization, government departments, shareholders, and they are like make complaints, requests, inquiries. Okay, and the person to whom you are addressing the letter, because it is free from personal, and the tone must be full of respect, making use of formal words and sentences. Okay, why? To create a nice impression on the recipient. So formal letter follows a set format, as I said, where you write the name, the designation, and address of the recipient. And where do you write? On the top of the left, while your name and address at the top right. Okay, you write your name and address at the top of the right and the recipients at the left, and you sign off at the bottom, like yours truly or yours faithfully or yours sincerely. Whereas informal letters, we write as the purpose of the letter is just to make like tone is casual and the words can be colloquial and slang, There you need not write for the creative impression, isn't it? They just considered a freestyle swimming where you write to free to write in the style and tone as you wish, and there is no set format as there is no need to be using any formal style, isn't it, and tone. Okay. And the style of the greeting and addressing of the letter is also different. I forgot. See, the purpose of the writing of the informal letter is totally different from the purpose of a formal letter. So the content of the two styles is also different. And the style of greeting, addressing the letter is also different. And the format is also different. Got it. Okay. So again, in types of formal letters, the business letter, the primarily informational with no personal content. Example, I said sales letter, order letter, termination letter. These all letters comes under business letters. And formal letters, they based on the content, there may be some personal, if there is, like letter from principal to congratulate a student who scored high marks in an exam. This is also formal letter, but for the personal content. Semi-formal letter, as I said, they are formal letters between persons with same rank, same position, and salutation will be just dear. Okay, and short and not quoted in official communication. This is the semi-formal letters. Okay. Or what a business letter? A business letter is a special class formal letter from one company to another company or between such organizations and the customers, clients, and other external parties. The overall style of letter depends on the relationship between the parties concerned. Even today, they are very useful because it produces a permanent record. They are confidential, formal, and delivers persuasive, well-considered messages. Now, elements in formal letters. The letterhead. What is letterhead? The sender's address, as you see in the image. So it includes the company's logo, if we have the symbol, the name, address, zip, telephone number, fax number, email address, and website of the company. And where they should be printed at the top center left, okay, on the left side. And sender's address, it is usually given in the letterhead, but if there is none, then the sender address, names, address, and contact details can be typed. Okay, nor reference. It includes a reference line to identify a file or case number, invoice number, or any other internal identifying information. If your company requires one. Now, some companies, they have specific reference codes that they place either in a reference line or below the date or at the very bottom of the letter, as you see here example. Okay, reference number, see here, a reference number is written here. So 2016 year, this is the number and this is the way addressing. Okay. Now date. Date consists of the date, name of the month and the year. If the letter should include a letterhead, type the date from 2 to 3 lines under the letterhead, else type in other. Like you can see, never send a letter without a date. Remember, if you write a date, that means you're following a correct form. Sorry, format. Now, the date is also written in two styles. The British method is ordinal numbers, like 4th July, comma, 2012. If you are going with the American method, that is they follow cardinal number. Instead of 4th, they will write 4, July 4, comma, 2012. This is American method. So mostly we follow the British ordinal number of writing. Okay. Never write like 7-2-12 or 7 by 2 by 12 because it shows that the writer is careless or in a great hurry. So follow this type of writing a date, 4th July, comma, 2012. or July 4th, 2012. Now inside the address includes the name and the address of the firm or the individual to whom the letter is written. So written on the left side beside the margin, two spaces below the date line. Use courtesy titles before the names of the receiver, such as Mr., Mrs., Shri, Srimati, Miss, Miss, Mrs., or Doctor, Professor, Captain, Major, Colonel, General, etc. The address can also begin with a job title or a department if you don't know the name. For example, the sales manager or the accounts department, etc. If you don't know the name. Now the salutation, also called as greeting. It is a compliment or greeting written beside the left hand margin, two spaces below the inside address and two lines above the body of the letter. It is followed by a comma or a colon. Salvation depends on the gender, comma, type, comma, number of the social status of the person address. Like dear sir, if you don't know whom you are writing, then dear sir or madam. If you know the person, then you can write dear Mr. John. If you don't know the person, then you write dear sales manager. If you're writing to many, then you can write dear ladies and gentlemen. And this is the most formal, respected sir. Okay, or dear customer, as you see. So either go with the respected or with the dear. Now, subject and the receiver's reference number. Subject is used so that the reader immediately know what your letter is about. Use subject or re is reference. Okay. Subject usually comes between salivation and the body. Salivation and the body. The receivers, remember, many of them write subject on the top, but it should between the salivation, that is respected sir. Then you write the subject. Then you can go for the body of the letter. So first it should be respected sir. Then write the subject or the reference. Then you go for the body of the letter. The receiver's reference, that is the receiver's previous letter's number, is mentioned under the heading reference. If it is written, then you can refer so and so date with the reference number. This will enable the receiver to easily take out a copy of his own letter from his file and understand the matter in the reply. And first letter should be capital, like subject, project section, sanction, regarding, reference, your letter number, so and so dated. Okay. Now body. Body begins two spaces below the salivation. Okay. It contains the message or the information to be communicated. Most important, lengthiest, prominent part written in correct, appealing and impressive style. It should be appealing and impressive style. Divided normally into three parts: introductory paragraph, middle paragraph, closing paragraph. Double space between paragraphs again. If letter exceeds one page, repeat the recipient's name, date, reference, subject line, put page number in the second. So continue of letter 3 lines below the heading. Complimentary close. It is written two spaces below the last line of the body. It is a polite way of saying goodbye. It depends on the tone and degree of formality. Like formal letters, respectfully yours, sincerely, yours faithfully, yours truly. Okay. And informal, cordially yours, warm regards, best wishes, thanks, just you end like that. Okay. Or yours lovingly, or your lovely son. Okay. A lovely cousin. If not yours, lovingly. Now the signature and the designation. Written double space below the complimentary clause. First comes signature. Sign your first and the last name. Second line, type written name. Third line, business title. So the signature acts as proof. You're writing your name. First you're signing. Then you're writing your name. Then you're writing your title, business title, designation. Okay. Enclosures. This line tells the reader to look into the envelope for more. Like write ENC, enclosures, enclosed below the signature block. Enclosure, enclosure 3, enclosure check, number, font, repeat. And if you don't enclose anything, skip it. Now, copy notation. When other people are to receive a copy of the same letter, their names are noted either by the ranks or by alphabetically. So written just below the reference initials or the enclosure, whichever is last. Type CC before the names if sending a carbon copy to, and for PC for photocopy. So CC, that is carbon copy. If PC is for photocopy. Layout. This is block. Each line of every part begins at the left margin. At least one line space between each part. Time saving and beautiful to look at. Also American style. Semi block or modified block. Some parts are typed in block method and other some parts are intended. Now return address, date, closing, signature start just to the right of the center of the page or maybe flush with the right margin. So most widely followed method in our country, especially in government offices. Now indent. New paragraphs begin about 1.5 centimeters to the right of the left margin. This style is also known as hanging style, and this method consumes a lot of time, looks shabby, therefore out of practice. Fine. Now here you can see. So block style, modified block style, indent style. So this is odd. This is not more now. So you can go for this one or this one. Modified block letter. The formal letter template, you can see your name here. Your name and address. Your name and address. Then this is the state. Two spaces. Okay. Then you can see the name, title, and address of the person to whom you are sending the letter. Fine. Then here first again one space. This is your writing. Dear salvation. So here comes after salvation, then the body of the letter. Then in this is your subscription. Then your, so how many spaces you are leaving? See 2 to 4, again one space, again here space, again here space. So this is for formal letter template. So starting BR, I am inviting to inform you that, to confirm, to request, to inquire about. Okay. And referring to previous contact, thank you for your letter of March 15th of, or thank you for contacting us, or thank you for a letter regarding, okay, with reference to our telephone conversation yesterday, or it was a pleasure meeting you, um, like that. Okay. And making a request. We would appreciate it if you would requesting. In addition, I would like to receive, it would be helpful if you could send us, or I'm interested in obtaining or receiving. Please let me know what action you propose to take. And offering help. Like, how do you write? Would you like to, would you like us to, or we would be happy to, or we are quite willing to, our company would be pleased to, and giving good news, how we are pleased to announce that, I'm delighted to inform you that, or you will be pleased to learn that. Giving bad news, we regret to inform you that, I'm afraid it would not be possible to, or after careful consideration we have decided to. Okay. Complaining, I'm writing to express my dissatisfaction with. Please note that the goods we ordered on so and so date have not yet arrived. We regret to inform you that our orders and is now considerably overdue. I would like to query the transport charges, which seems unusually high. So these are complaining letters. Okay, so we have seen different types of letters. So as I said, technical writing letters are there. Many phrases are also there in writing. So I do making apologies. I do apologize for. Please accept my apology for. Please forgive me. Pardon me. I'm terribly sorry. Excuse me. Okay. And accepting apologies, it doesn't matter. That's all right. No harm done. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. You couldn't help it. Something. Okay. Let's express your apology. Apart from that, you can say, I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said. So these are many differences of writing apologies, of writing a letter. So I hope you have learned some techniques about writing a formal and informal letter. Fine. We'll see more about informal letter in the next slide. Thank you. Okay, I forgot to say one thing more uh, about about similarities between, because I said differences, similarities between formal and informal letter is uh, like a letter is said to be informal when it is written in a friendly manner to someone you're familiar with, and formal letters are written for official or professional communication. So informal are used for casual or personal communication. But similarities, what are the similarities between formal and informal? Like both rules and regulations are there. Okay, norms, values, and beliefs. So work here, work is work performance, interpersonal relationship, and the members are bound by hierarchical structure, informal. So here all the members are equal in informal. Fine. And what are the characteristics of the formal and informal organization? The formal organization, it is bound by rigid rules, regulations, and procedures. So this makes the achievement of goals very difficult. That is a characteristic feature. Whereas informal organization, it refers to the relationship between the people in the organization based on personal attitudes, emotions, prejudice, like dislikes, likes. Okay, that is the difference. So we have learned about technical writings. We have learned about business letter writings. We have learned how the letter of the format must be. So as a polytechnic students, you must know about technical writings, which are most important. So where you use manual software installation guides, standing operating procedures, or service level agreements, their request or proposal, legal discrimination. These all, like, because you're outgoing for the internship, isn't it? Outgoing students you go for internship should learn how to write these technical writings. And also, what are the traits of technical writing? Like comparing that is this five the traits like clarity, conciseness, accessibility, audience, and accuracy. You have to keep it in mind. Okay. And as I said, the elements of technical writing of product, developers, audience, task, deliverables, environment, schedule. So altogether comprise everything which is important for technical writer, needs to be a concern about. Fine. So, and we have also seen there are 7 principles to guide this technical writing. So remember your purpose, don't forget your purpose to inform or persuade. And remember your audience, the concerns, the backgrounds, attitude towards your purpose, and make your content specific or its purpose and audience. Write clearly and precisely, that is active voice, appropriate language to audience. This is all you have to keep it in mind for the technical writing and the qualities. How do you write? The love of technology and software, ability to upgrade one's technical skills. Okay, these are all the good qualities of technical writer. A love of writing and the ability to understand and formulate procedural steps, ability to write plainly, simply, without the pride of like authorship, love of solving puzzles and finding solutions to problems. Many are there. Okay, and so a good technical writer requires all the skills. So writing clearly, showing the ideas graphically, patience in problem solving, troubleshooting. Okay, fine. Thank you.